Okay, so this is my review of Goodnight Mommy. Let me just say, when I first saw the trailer for this, I was pretty excited. I thought it looked pretty good. I saw this trailer about the same time that I saw Krampus. Right, I did see them together. I was excited to see both of them, but I knew Goodnight Mommy was a foreign film, and that made it a little particularly attractive to me because here in America, our horror films aren't very good anymore. We seem to have dropped the ball on that. So, like the big horror fans now, they're looking out to other countries to kind of fill that void. And so enter Goodnight Mommy. I thought it looked very good. It is Austrian, possibly. I do not remember. But long story short, I was excited to see it. Alright, so then the day occurred. I watched it. And okay. So this movie has a lot of good reviews. And Rotten Tomatoes says 85%. I don't really care about review sites, I mean, none of that means anything. I tend to disagree with a lot of those kind of things. Usually it's me liking a movie and them hating it. In this instance, though, I do not like Goodnight Mommy very much. It's not my favorite horror movie. And I will tell you why. So, okay, so put it in. I was watching it. Before I say anything bad, let me say some good things about it. So the acting, I thought it was very good. These two twins, they're believable, which they're actually twins, so they should be believable. The mom, I thought her acting was good. I don't really understand her character very well, but she's a good actress, I suppose. The production value of this movie is very good. I mean, everything technical about this movie is very good. It looks great. The editing's good. Color grading is good. Just this technically very good movie. And so there's one thing in this movie that I found particularly fascinating, and that I could watch for hours on end. So at the 3-minute mark, these kids are walking on this dirt, and this dirt is bouncy like rubber. And I was just like, holy shit, that is cool. I could have watched a documentary about that dirt. I mean, that was that was the highlight of this movie for me. It was the bouncy dirt. Okay, so now I skipped the plot synopsis. So if someone asked me, what is Goodnight Mommy about? What would I say? Well, I would say it's about these two twins, and their mom returns home from some sort of facial surgery, and they begin to suspect that's not their mom. And then they begin to kind of investigate her, and that begins to lead to some shenanigans. That's the plot synopsis, as I understand it. So let me get to what I did not like about the movie, and for me, pretty much the downfall for it. So 9 minutes into the movie, I made a prediction that that mom seems to be ignoring that kid a lot. And I've seen enough horror movies to know that there's always a twist. Since The Sixth Sense, horror movies have to have a twist. And so I was like, that's probably the twist. That kid, he died. He's either a ghost or his imaginary friend. I don't know, but he's not really there. And then so since I made that one little prediction, then every scene past that I would watch to see if the mom would ignore that kid. And sure enough, she never looked at him, talked to him, reacted to anything he said. There was other scenes with those two kids and like other people too. And yeah, nobody interacted with them. So I was like, yeah, that's got to be it. And sure enough, that is the big reveal at the end of the movie. That kid does not exist. So that's why I didn't like the movie. Pretty much the big twist was just. I mean, it's just, to me, it felt like it was pretty obvious. So I've seen this done before too, better. For example, The Sixth Sense, and another movie that's kind of new that I thought did a good job is The Uninvited. And that's a movie that gets no real credit for anything, and it's pretty much the same story too. Two sisters, one of them died. She got a twin. I think she died in a fire too. So she sees the twin. Then some new woman comes in as the mom, and they don't think she's who she says she is. So they investigate her. And does that sound familiar at all? Because this probably came out about 7 to 10 years ago. Regardless, that's why I didn't like it, because the twist was too obvious, I think, and they put what I mean. Like, I almost want to say they didn't try to hide it, but they did. But they just kept. I mean, the kid got ignored in every single scene. You know, I mean, how would you not pick up on that? Having said that, I was watching it with someone else, and they didn't notice anything. So, okay. So another thing I didn't like about the movie was the mom. I mean, so it became obvious they were painting her out to be the villain, and they were just like, the mom was kind of a bitch. So I guess another kind of plot twist would be that the mom wasn't a demon, you know, as the trailer makes it out to be. She's like a monster. And so I was like, man, they're pushing her to be bad really heavily. She's probably gonna be like the good person, and sure enough, she's good. I mean, she could be frustrated and not the greatest person, but she's not the villain of the movie. Okay, so another thing that I thought was kind of strange in this movie. So the kids go out and they find this cat. Okay, here's some irony here. So the cat, in my opinion, he was dying. When cats get old, they kind of run off somewhere to die. And what better place to die than like they go to some kind of cemetery, and it crawled into some kind of mausoleum thing. So the cat, he is dying. He's going to die. He went there to die. So the kids bring him home, you know, put him in a shoebox, look at him, and okay, whatever. So then the cat disappears. They go looking for him, and he like crawled behind a water heater and died. And the kids are like, I bet mom did this. This is her doing. And I just, okay. So now they're okay, in their minds, the mom killed the cat. Yeah, that's not very nice. That's not a very Christian thing to do. So what do? They stick the cat in an aquarium full of water or gasoline, because later in the movie this aquarium catches on fire. But so they put it in this aquarium, then set it out for the mom to find. And like, what is that about? So it's pretty obvious this kid's pretty fucked up. And so I guess, okay, so here's another thing I thought was kind of weird. So the kids, at some point, they're scared of the mom, so they just run away. They go to a church looking for some help. So they get in touch with the preacher eventually. And I would imagine they have a conversation such as, I'm scared of our mom. I don't think she's who she says she is. She's different. They're scared of their mom, and they want some help. Okay, so what would the preacher do you think? I suspect an average preacher would go to the police and, I don't know, like and go to the police. That's the big thing right there. They would go to the police. So this preacher takes the kids back to the house, tells the mom, "Do you want to explain?" And the mom basically says, "Well, it's pretty complicated and difficult." And the guy must have been like, "Oh, it's difficult to explain. Well, okay, don't worry about it. Just here's your kids." And that's pretty much what it was. So that was kind of strange. And about this time, the movie took a little bit of a tonal change. Up to this point, it's been like the kids like investigating the mom and they're scared of the mom. They don't know who she is. She's different. So they're kind of investigating her and looking on the computer, looking at pictures. And then all of a sudden, they decide, well, we better torture her. So they tie her up, stick her in a bed, and just pretty much torture her. And so it became like a Saw movie or a Hostel movie, Human Centipede. And that is my least favorite type of horror movie. I do not like those types of movies. And yeah, so another thing I didn't like about the movie was the Red Cross. Around this time, the Red Cross arrive. They knock on the door. The door is unlocked. So they take it upon themselves to walk inside the house and then look around for someone. Okay, so this is a foreign movie. Is that really how it goes? Because here in America, no, that is not okay. You're going to get shot or die at that point. So, like, if you're suspending belief for this movie, it's just, I don't know, man. That ain't how it works. Then you gotta ask yourself, what is the point of that scene? And I guess it's just to add some suspense, to get somebody in that house so that we're like kind of got some kind of suspense because we know the mom's up there and she needs some help and they're there to help. They could possibly help her, but I think they could have maybe found a better way to get somebody in there. So, okay, now the movie is pretty much wrapping up. Now it's time for the big reveal. That one brother, he does not exist. He died a long time ago, and that other brother is in this kid's head. And so that pretty much, the big reveal was about an hour and 30 minutes into the movie, which is unfortunate because I kind of was thinking, yeah, that's what it's going to be 10 minutes after it started. So that's why I didn't like the movie, man, because it's like it was just obvious, And so evidently the end of the movie is open to interpretation. I didn't think much about it, but to me, the kid burns the house down, burns the mom, and then the kid, to me, he got out. He just walked into the cornfield or whatever and was with his brother and got reunited with his mother in his head. That's the interpretation I took away from it. Some people think he died and went somewhere. I don't know. To me, he lived and got out, and now he's happy in his head. So here's some questions I got about the movie. Just little things I just kind of curious about. I noticed a lot of the pictures in the house were kind of blurred, and I felt like there's probably some significance to that, but I don't know what it is. Another question: Where's the dad? He's referenced a couple of times, and so the kids. Okay, so the mom states that just had surgery. I need to rest. So why in the hell is she watching the kids? Why isn't the dad watching the kids? I don't know. I just don't understand. There's a lot of questions about this movie. Like, what's the deal with the facial surgery? What is there some significance to that? Just a side note for you. I'm a medical professional, and so I'm trying to wonder, like, what did she have done? Closest thing I can figure is a nose job. Got the bruising in the eyes, the thing on her nose, and this whole thing on her face doesn't really seem to have any sort of purpose. You know, it's not really covering anything. I don't know. It's just this thing on her nose is the most obvious, and if she got bruising in her eyes, that's pretty common with like a nose job. And so, why did she get a nose job? The brother, how did the brother die? It's alluded that it was possibly fire. Some people say drowning. So yeah, I don't know. Goodnight Mommy, not my favorite movie. So that is my review of Goodnight Mommy. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, concerns, let me know. And if you have any movie suggestions, let me know. I'm just starting this YouTube thing, you know. It's kind of fun. Huge horror fan. Thought I would do some movie reviews. And that's what I'm doing. So thank you for watching.